Mustang fans, are you ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Four for the first down, won't need it. It's going to be another Mustang touchdown.
The following is a West Jones High School presentation of the Mustang Network.
He's going the other way. It's a live football. It's going to be a touchdown for the Mustangs.
They answered a call. They brought the juice the whole season. We got great kids that's going to work hard and make our community proud.
And that is a 62-yard touchdown for the West Jones Mustangs.
The West Jones Mustangs finish off a 14-0 season and are state champions once again.
Good evening, West Jones faithful. Welcome to our third episode of the West Jones Football Coaches Show, presented by City Home Center and Ruby's Home Furnishings, right here on the Mustang Network. I'm Rich Gray, and of course I'm joined by Mustang head coach Coach Reynolds. Later on in today's show, we'll catch up on the past 2 weeks of football, and we'll look ahead to tomorrow's matchup with the Wayne County War Eagles as well. But first, West Jones High School in the greater Jones County area lost a legend Thursday morning as supervising principal Cooper Pope passed away unexpectedly in his home. Pope was not only a longtime administrator at West Jones and Northeast Jones, but was also a former standout football player at both West Jones and Mississippi College, where he was inducted to the Choctaw Athletics Hall of Fame in 2008. Pope also returned to Clinton to coach at Mississippi College for 9 seasons beginning in 1990. He will be remembered as a faithful deacon at First Baptist Church of Sharon and an outspoken Christian everywhere he went. He's survived by his wife of over 30 years, Francie, and his son Ryan and daughter-in-law Nicole, and by his daughter Kristen. He also leaves behind his sister Cassandra Short and his dad and mom, Albert and Faye Short. Cooper David Pope, gone but never forgotten at the age of 60. Coach Reynolds, as we open today's show, we think about a man that just this week on Tuesday we heard a lot about legacy, and a man that dedicated his life to the service of others. He dedicated his life to West Jones High School and Northeast Jones High School, and it was never about a job for him. It was about impacting lives of young men and women to whom he viewed as God entrusted him with. Coach, Mr. Pope meant a lot of things to a lot of people, but in just a few words tonight, could you explain to us what Cooper Pope meant to Coach Reynolds?
About like most folks would say to me, he meant a huge, you can't even measure what it was. He's the reason I'm here. I was happy at Oak Grove, had a good thing going there, and he called and could not turn down the opportunity to work for him. Our relationship started back in 1994 when he recruited me to come play at MC, and the first hard decision I had to make in my life was tell him that I wasn't going to come there, and we kept up with each other over the years, and some relationships just never break, and my son Cooper's named after him, and I never played for him, and the easiest choice was to come here to work for a guy that that loves the Lord, and that's going to pray over everything, and within 5 minutes you know exactly where he stands on things, and it's a choice I'll never ever regret, and the opportunity to get to come to work for a guy like that is something I'll always cherish and be grateful for.
Yeah, Coach, and we talk about legacy, and the word legacy defined is what you leave behind. Mm-hmm. There's coming a day where we're all going to face this moment, and we think about the things we can leave behind to our families and our kids. But what, in your opinion and in your eyes, will ultimately be the legacy of Cooper Pope?
He loved God more than anything. He loved his family. He loved these kids here. The question came up, would we play? And I said, like, yes, we're going to play. I'm not going to get haunted by Coach Pope for not letting these kids play and cheer and play in the band, because they meant a lot to him. And he knew that those kids put in the hard work and the time and the effort, and it was all about the kids. And that wasn't ever going to be an issue. And earlier in the week, we talked about time is the only currency that you don't know the balance of. You know, your checkbook or your credit card balance, you know how much money you got or you don't got, and if you're a teacher. And when it's up, and we don't know when that time is up. And boy, Coach Pope used his time so wisely. He invested it in so many people, me included, and that's going to be missed so much. And so the legacy he leaves behind is, boy, he loved us with everything he had.
And you think about just this past Friday night as we honored his life during that ball game, and you saw before the game there was a video. I think you guys had finished pregame already, but as you went in on the video board, there was an interview that was from right here on the Mustang Network a few weeks ago, and there were some 5,000 people in Mustang Stadium Friday night, and there was not one sound to be made. Everybody's eyes glued on that board. Coach, what was some of the thoughts going through your mind as those tributes at halftime where the South Jones Band of Braves stood in the gap with the West Jones Mustang Pride and all of Mustang Nation as we honored the life, and as you saw the sky lanterns, and they're released into the night sky going towards the moon. And what are some thoughts going through your head at that point in time as those tributes were taking place?
That's how you want to be remembered. You know, we're put on this earth for a short amount of time, and like I said earlier, are we going to waste it, or we're going to use it to the best of our abilities? And just seeing those things, we've gotten all the texts and the calls. Man, he lived his life to the fullest. Mm-hmm. You know, whenever he come in heaven, you know, God said, well done. And that's how I want to live my life. Boy, when I leave here, I want people to say, man, Coach Reynolds, Corey did a great job of using his abilities and talents to further God's kingdom. He wasn't perfect. He messed things up a lot, but boy, did he love me. Did he love his family? Boy, did he want to do things right for God. And that's when you saw that, which I've known him my whole life, and it was no shocking, no surprise. That was Coach Pope.
That's it. That's it. Well, thank you, Coach Reynolds. Definitely an indelible loss here in the West Jones community and in Jones County as a whole. Thank you for your memories of Mr. Cooper Pope as we celebrate the life of Cooper David Pope, who is a legend here and is gone but is never forgotten. We'll be right back.
Most favorite thing of mine here is my students. All the students who come here for the first time, they've never been to a school in the United States before, they can't speak English, and they have a lot of fears. If you can imagine any teenager going to a new school and being very nervous, and then compound that with not being able to speak the language, that's what my students have to deal with. And one of my favorite things is being able to just calm their nerves and help them to learn to speak the language and learn to succeed in their classes. And ultimately, I get to see those kids start from nothing and then be able to communicate and make friends. And I get to teach them not only the language, but also our culture in our area, but our culture here at West Jones. And I love our culture here. We have a lot of sports, we have a lot of fun things that go on, but we have a lot of good academics here, and I think it's a good place for my students to come and learn.
If you need to update your kitchen or bath without breaking the bank, come to City Home Center in Laurel. For backsplashes, countertops, and cabinetry, let our experienced staff provide the personal service you can count on. City Home Center, Highway 15 in Laurel. Ruby's Home Furnishings is here for you, Mississippi. We have a large assortment of home decor and furniture made right here in Mississippi. Gift ideas that are sure to please family and friends. From floral arrangements and wrapping paper to bedding, pillows, mirrors, and artwork. And we can accommodate your bridal registry with the wide selection of available gifts. Ruby's is your local outlet for Mississippi made and Mississippi proud. Call or come by Ruby's Home Furnishings today, Highway 15 North in Laurel.
And welcome back to the West Jones Football Coaches Show with head coach Coach Reynolds. I'm Rich Gray, the voice of the Mustangs. And Coach, we're back here tonight here on game night eve, if you will. It's almost like Christmas Eve as we think about playing another game tomorrow night. In the last 2 weeks, we've been over to Northeast Jones where we came away with a 35-7, was that correct? 35-7 victory. And then we hosted South Jones here in our home opener last Friday night on that solemn Friday night. We came away with a 28-21 victory. Coach, what are some things in that Northeast Jones game you saw over in the jungle over there in a hostile environment? What are some things that you saw in that game that you really liked?
Really just enjoyed seeing our kids play. Coach Milner is taking over as a head coach there, and they're a lot better than they've been in the past. He had those kids really, really ready to play. They got after us. It was a great atmosphere over there. I thought our kids got up for it. I thought they played really, really hard. Kind of had some kids banged up. Kind of had some questionable calls with officials, which always makes a rivalry game more interesting than it needs to be. Just really, really proud. Once again, we had a lot of questions, on defense. I think we're at the point we're getting a lot of them answered. Still finding out some things on offense, and then also in the kicking game. Just really, really proud of how they got up and played a team that's going to be pretty good in 4A, and it's a cross-county rival game, and they didn't let the moment, they went there and we handled our business.
Right. And there were some things in that game, I'm sure as well, being a coach, you always, you see the good, but there's some things in there too that you saw that we could improve upon. What were some of those things that you saw in that ball game that needed improvement?
Just not finishing drives on both sides of the ball. Thought we should have had a couple more scores for halftime. Had some passes that could have been completed, whether it was a bad throw or a drop. Just clean up just some execution. And, from just, fans, they think they see the score, they see you score, and as a coach, you watch the film and preach to the kids. We never talk about winning a ball game. We talk about being 1-0 at the end of the week, but we talk about competing and being the best we can be, and then the score will take care of itself. And so there's always room for improvement. We look at ourselves as coaches. Did we make the right play calls? Did we have the right people on the field? And what can we do to make that better? So we look for it from all three phases of the game and from the coaching standpoint.
And following that night over there at Northeast Jones, you came away with a goal accomplished, being 1-0 on the week. Now, let's shift gears to this past Friday night as we gathered here at Mustang Stadium, of course, with the events that unfolded on Thursday and with Hurricane Francine coming in and school being delayed on Thursday, which pales in comparison to the other events that transpired on Thursday. But we hosted South Jones here and came away with a hard-fought 28-21 win that came down literally to the final seconds of the ball game. Coach, in that ball game, I know, old coach speak says that, an ugly win is better than a pretty loss any day of the week. But what are some things in that South Jones game that you saw that were positives overall for your Mustang football team?
Well, and I kind of look at it like this when I talk to the kids. Nothing against the team that we're playing or the coaching staff or anybody, but if we do what we're supposed to do, ball game should be over at halftime. And if we take care of the little things, if we block and tackle and throw and catch and kick and cover with great effort for 6 to 8 seconds, we're going to be our biggest enemy. And for everything that had happened, the weather, Mr. Pope's passing, just the somber, we were all out of whack. I thought our kids rebounded well because with everything that was going against us, everything went perfect for South to do that. They had some passes caught and things happened that we normally take care of. You know, we had some picks on defense that were dropped that we normally do, and we take care of those. It's over at halftime. You know, Elijah, this is the first time I've seen him fumble, you know, and it wasn't like he was being careless with the ball. And I know you was asking for positive things, but that happened. But then I keep telling the kids the most important play you'll ever play in your life is the next one. And we just kept fighting and fighting, and at no point did I feel like we're fixing to lose. And it got to the end, but our guys, the only reason I felt that was because of the look I saw in their eyes. I mean, it was a chippy game. Once again, we had some interesting calls from the officials, which always makes it lively. And once again, another cross-county rival game. Once again, South is better. Coach Harrington is doing a great job getting those kids prepared. And that's what Friday nights in the South are about. But the one thing that you're asking, the positive thing, was, boy, our kids really never flinched. Yeah. Never felt like, you know, the game was in jeopardy. I know it kind of got close if they'd have had a chance to score again and stuff. But, you know, we talked after the game. We've talked during the week about taking care of the little things. That if we do that, we block and tackle, throw and catch, and kick and cover. Once again, not saying anything against our upcoming opponent, but if we take care of what we do, the game should be over at halftime. Now, there's the if, and that's the biggest, smallest word in the world.
That's one thing, Coach, you alluded to there. One thing that I think, from my vantage point, which that and a quarter may get you a cup of coffee, but one thing that I was most proud of from where I was sitting was the fact that on a night where our kids had every reason to say, you know, maybe we shouldn't play, they didn't flinch.
No.
Coach, they showed up.
They did.
They kept showing up. And that was something that we as Mustang Nation are proud to see from these young men, that they never quit. In the face of adversity, they never lay down. Even if they're down, it's a fight to the very end.
Well, that's one thing we talked to them about. The things that we're teaching them in football really has nothing to do with the game of football. It's all going to be about how you handle things in life. You know, one of the few things that they hear over and over again is not what happens to you, it's how you handle what happens to you. And once again, it has nothing to do with football. And when you're talking about Coach Pope's legacy, you know, told at the ring ceremony, you know, told them to wear the rings because we can't carry them to heaven. If God did allow them, we just wear an asphalt. And if they walk by my casket and all they're going to do is talk about football, I've failed miserably. And so it's all about the things going forward. Is how you're going to handle adversity, how you're going to handle tough things, and who are you going to have with you handling those things. And that's why this is a special thing about a football team or any sports team, that you have to depend on each other. There's different talents. People are more physically talented. Other people are more emotionally talented. And people can handle things. And we all got to take our strengths and love on each other. And that's what really, really enjoyed about seeing Friday night.
Well, thank you, Coach. When we come back, we'll sit down with our Players of the Week from both the Northeast Jones and the South Jones game. And later in tonight's show, we'll give you a preview of tomorrow night's opponent, the Wayne County War Eagles. You're watching the West Jones Mustang Football Coaches Show, presented by City Home Center and Ruby's Home Furnishings, right here on the Mustang Network.
Hey Marty, what'd you get? All nays again, Marty? That's so not fair.
If you need to update your kitchen or bath without breaking the bank, come to City Home Center in Laurel. For backsplashes, countertops, and cabinetry, let our experienced staff provide the personal service you can count on. City Home Center, Highway 15 in Laurel. Ruby's Home Furnishings is here for you, Mississippi. We have a large assortment of home decor and furniture made right here in Mississippi. Gift ideas that are sure to please family and friends. From floral arrangements and wrapping paper to bedding, pillows, mirrors, and artwork. And we can accommodate your bridal registry with the wide selection of available gifts. Ruby's is your local outlet for Mississippi made and Mississippi proud. Call or come by Ruby's Home Furnishings today, Highway 15 North in Laurel.
Soccer has become very popular here at West Jones, but there seems to be a rise in workplace injuries.
It's all right. He's doing good.
Oh! Ow! Oh, my ankle! Oh!
Dad,
oh.
stop.
Oh, my ankle! Oh! I won't be able to work for weeks. Oh!
He's fine.
Oh!
And welcome back to the West Jones Football Coaches Show, presented by City Home Center and Ruby's Home Furnishings. At this time, we're going to throw it to our student reporter, DG, who's standing by with the Players of the Week for the last couple of games, with Zanchery Patterson for the South Jones game and Deon Graves for Northeast Jones.
This is student reporter Davis Goodrich. I'm here with the Mustang Network interviewing Players of the Week, Deon and Zanchery. Deon, not only did you have 3 tackles on defense, but that was an impressive route to get open and clearly lose the DB on your touchdown catch. Take us through that play and also the opportunity to play on both sides of the ball.
You know, it really was a double move route, you know, and I ran the route, turned around, seen the DB break on the ball, and then I got over the top of him and, you know, to put it with the ball where it needed to be, and it was a touchdown.
Interesting. Zanchery, seven solo tackles and 1 assist on an enclosed game against South Friday. How have you been able to success in your first year as a starter on the defense line?
You know, every day we come to work, you know, defensive line, that's where the trenches is, you know. We got number 9, Ty Hawkins in there. We got 92, Sawyer Shells. And we got 45, Shammy Miranda in there. You know, we work hard every day, and we just trying to get better.
All right, thank you guys. Good luck on those games Friday night, tomorrow. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that interview with our Players of the Week, DG. Coach Reynolds, shifting gears now as we tomorrow night have another home game, another big rivalry game here at Mustang Stadium. You're going to host longtime rival Wayne County, and that rivalry means a little something different with you there, that being home. But yes, with Wayne County, one thing you're always going to have with them is an extremely disciplined and extremely well-coached football team. You know, that rivalry has been really going heated since 2003. I believe, when we played. The governor was in attendance that night, and it was just one of those games, one of those atmospheres that you always want to be a part of. But, Coach, what can you expect from Jack Hankins and his War Eagle football team as they come over to Mustang Stadium this week for this rivalry game?
Well, they're going to be playing with a little bit of chip on their shoulder. They had a tough one last week, a high-scoring shootout game against Greene County. I know this about Coach Hankins. He's won a couple state championships in Alabama. He's the son of a Hall of Fame coach. I know right now they're not playing like they want to play. He hadn't forgot how to coach football, and those guys are going to be well prepared. They're going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder. You know, I know at least one guy still on staff that I played with. A guy on staff there is a relative of mine, so we've been kind of messing with each other. It's going to be about business on Friday, and you're just not going to look at records. You're not going to look at, you know, things that have happened. It's the next game on the schedule. It's a heated rivalry. A lot of those kids, remember, we came in there last year and got after them pretty good, and, you know, they're wanting to avenge that. Coach Hankins is going to have those guys ready to play, and that's our message this week. Once again, we got to do those 6 things to win a ball game and do it with great effort to have a chance.
Yeah, they're led by senior quarterback Jake Bowles, who a really talented young man there behind center and leads that War Eagle offense well. Now, you said they kind of took one on the chin last week. They scored 48 points, but they gave up 66 over at Greene County. They're going on the road for the 2nd week in a row. Coach, you're from small town Clara, Mississippi. in Wayne County, where they have one high school, Wayne County High School. What does this rivalry mean to you, and does it add just a little bit more motivation to you for this game this week?
For me personally, and it's just because this is year 25 for teaching and coaching and being a part of this, and our kids, I tell them it's the next game. It's the most important game I'm going to coach in my career because it's the next one on the schedule. It's the only one we got this week. My goal is to be 1-0 this week. It is a rival game. It's where I'm from. I keep in touch with Coach Hankins. I'm wanting him to do well because that's home. Yeah. I'm wanting him to make that, you know, as good as a place as he can make it. Great people there, great support there. I know just here lately it's different, and you know, speaking from a person there, get out and support him. Right. I mean, get out and support those guys. And for us, man, get ready for a good old rivalry. It's going to be fun. It means a lot. Those colors mean something. You look across, and like you said, a couple of those coaches I'm cousins with and played with, and so it's kind of fun up to it. But when the game starts, it's about the game and those 48 minutes, and then we can go back to being friends and cousins after that.
That's right. All right, Coach, what are some things that we need to do well this week to come out and achieve that goal of being 1-0 at the end of the night, Friday night?
And I guess you are going to kind of get a bit of this that, you know, reporters get, and I always tell them we can record this segment, change the name for every week and save a lot of time. It's going to be 6 things. We got to block and tackle with better effort than we did last week. Yeah. And it's got to be for 6 seconds. It can't be for 3 seconds. We've got to really, really get after it. And then we got to throw and catch. And that's the quarterback and receivers, and that's the DBs catching and the returners catching. We can't have the ball on the ground. And boy, then we got to kick and cover. And we just got to do it in all 3 phases of the game. And, you know, this week we just kind of got to rebound from a very emotional week, and we've got to get back on our new normal. You know, it's just going to be hard for some of us. But it's the next ball game, and that's part of life. We got to handle it. I want our guys to come out and play. I don't want them to worry about anything but playing the best they can every time that ball snap, and then be better than they were the snap before.
Well, Coach, just to finish up the Wayne County preview here, are there any concerns that you have as far as personnel? I know coaches don't like to discuss injuries, things like that, but any concerns that you may have as, you know, thinness at position groups or anything like that going into this ball game this week?
Yeah, we're going in the 4th ball game, and boy, that's hard to believe. We're sitting here waiting, and it's already here. But I know we got some guys in here that's football players on our film crew, and they've heard me say it. You know, the first day of practice, I was telling them, I said, boys, however you feel right now, this is the best you're going to feel till December. And so you got your bumps and bruises. You know, we got a kid got his hand stepped on yesterday, got a thumb injury. We got some guys beaten, banged up, got some ankles, and so nothing major. It's football, and we're going to have to get through it. And just really excited about opportunity to get to play football. Boy, we're so blessed. We're so fortunate. We got some really, really tough kids. We got some competitive kids. I got a lot of kids with pride for this community and this team, and just I'm ready to get to Friday. During this season, very blessed to do this for a living, and boy, it is a calling to get to do this, and I'd hate to know I had to do anything else.
All right, Coach. Well, what are some messages that you may have for Mustang Nation this Friday night?
A couple things. Just get here early. Make sure you get your seats. I know parking's, you know, kind of tough here, and it's everywhere. Really, really appreciate everybody that comes out and supports us, not only in football, but the band, the cheer, all of our other sports. It means a lot to me, you know, as a head coach and also the athletic director. Can't say enough about, you know, you look around and you see all those people in the stands. And then also just another thing too, boys, be on y'all's feet. Those seats, y'all don't need to sit down. Y'all can sit down during the middle of the quarters and stuff. But our kids really, really, really play and thrive off your excitement, your being loud, those bells ringing, those, you know, not just excited before the play, be through the play and finish it and be loud and proud, and that, you don't know how much that helps us. And then one last thing, and then Rich is going to announce it several times during the game. Things change throughout the course of the season, and we're always going to keep these kids safe. And what we're going to change at the end of our home games from now on is when we go through our handshake line, and we have a tradition, everybody comes on the field, and I really appreciate y'all gathering around me as I talk to the team, and then we end in prayer, and then we go and take pictures and do our interviews. But I'm going to ask everybody to stay on the track, not come on the field until we get through the handshake line and I get them over in our groups. Just a lot of it's just preventative maintenance from things happening. Kind of had a little situation, nothing major, but after sitting down and talking to admin, we're going to do things to keep these kids safe, you know. And I love these children as my own son and nephews, ball boys on Friday night. I'm going to do everything I can to keep everybody safe. So when the game's over, after we do our handshake line, everybody just stay on the track until, you know, we start to get them huddled up and talk and pray, and then we can come out on the field that way, just to keep everybody safe, kind of keep some things from happening, not necessarily saying they will, but just to make sure.
Thank you, Coach. It's always our job here to keep our kids safe first and foremost. So that will be announced at multiple times during the game. But yes, please stay on the track until you know, we've had the opposing team an opportunity to get to the other side to where they're gathering with their coaching staff. Thank you, Coach, again for coming in, being with us today. And I know it's been a hard week, but on behalf of Coach Reynolds, myself, everyone here at West Jones, we want to throw out a special thank you to everyone who's reached out over the last week, and everyone who's sent well wishes, and everybody who has sent love to West Jones High School. This Jones County is a special place, and we're so thankful for everyone who's reached out with love to West Jones High School and has supported us during this time. Thank you for watching the West Jones Football Coaches Show today. Again, this is Coach Corey Reynolds. I'm the voice of the Mustangs, Rich Gray. We are so thankful you tuned in with us today, and we encourage you always to live like Cooper Pope and always remember, we are West Jones.